So Jeffrey, as a generalist, how do you stay current across multiple domains without getting overwhelmed?
I I actually like to get a little bit overwhelmed because
Mhm.
so I overwhelming isn't bad, right? Overwhelming, I think, is a representation of the fact that there's a lot out there. I mean, look at all the books that you have behind you.
Mhm.
There's so much knowledge to be gained. And so in my role now, I work with a lot of people in a lot of different domains.
Yeah,
And for me, I find that very exciting.
sure.
And I think that's the first step to not getting debilitatingly overwhelmed, right? So we might
Yeah,
rephrase the question just around getting paralyzed, because I think
right.
it's really easy when there is so much, and maybe it's so much that's interesting to you, or
Mhm.
maybe it's so much that you feel like you're lacking, or maybe it's so much that you want to learn. It's easy to not know where to start.
Yeah.
I think for me, what's worked really well over my career and just different in different roles is to start to put action to something. So I like to build stuff. I like to have a
Mhm.
reason to build things. Typically, when I build stuff, I have to learn new things. And that forces me to focus because it's a bit more outcome driven. I know when the thing is working versus when the thing is not working. So if it's not
Sure.
working, I've got more to do on it. And I think that, depending on the areas that people might be in, if this conversation is kind of resonating about having a lot of different interests and having multiple sets of expertises and having sort of the ability to begin to connect across those areas of interest and looking at what comes from the intersection between all of these different things, then my guess is, more is not necessarily overwhelming, but
Right.
more can be um, encouraging, more
Hmm.
can be potentially stress-inducing.
Right.
And maybe that's where it is because it's exciting to
Yeah.
learn about these things. I think when people feel like, there's too much, and if it is debilitatingly overwhelming, that's almost an argument to start to focus on something,
Yeah.
right? That's an argument to say, let me start to move some other things to the side. Let me, put some guardrails around what it is that I'm actually interested in.
Sure.
For me, the things that I'm always most excited about are at the intersection between two or three or more different domains.
Hmm.
I think about, given my experience, given the jobs that I've had, given the people that I talk to, I'm talking to a lot of people that are at the intersection between technology and research.
Yeah.
So those two domains. Some of them are at the intersection between multiple domains themselves. And so it ends up becoming this like very interesting four-way, five-way, six-way Venn diagram. And yes, they do exist. Um, where that middle point or those areas of overlap start to be where the magic is. And
Hmm.
so I really like to think through, has this technology been applied to this before? Or what does it look like if you can do this in a different way,
Sure.
maybe with inspiration from a different domain? And so
Hmm.
bringing those things together and synthesizing them becomes a superpower as
Yes.
opposed to being something that is debilitating.
I see how much you enjoy being at the intersections and how much fun you find your work to be, and that the word overwhelming is wrong. And it made me realize that because I'm in the veteran space, I work with a lot of veterans, I work with a lot of Marines, and the Marines have a sort of a saying, enjoy the suck, which I love because it's saying, we signed up for this.
Yeah.
We want to be Marines. We like being Marines. If this is hard, that's what we want to do. We're not going to complain about sleeping in a tent overnight. I mean, whatever hard thing they're in or training, this is part of what we want to do. We love it. So you don't have to love every second of it, but you might as well enjoy the suck. Enjoy
Yep.
what you're being asked to do because it is who you are and who you want to be. So I see that in your own energy of like, I love being at the intersection of this. I love learning new things. I love a little bit of stress. I love solving problems. You sound like you're in the right.
I love ambiguity. So for
Yeah.
me, the suck is ambiguity, which is nobody's telling me what to do. I'm
Right.
coming up with it myself.
Yeah.
Um, but there's not a plan. There's not a path. I'm building the path, and that's what I enjoy doing.